So you were in good shape before, Hannah. What made you want to try doing a competition?
It was actually attending a workshop through something called the Diva Sisters, and just sort of getting into the world of fitness modelling and competing, and went to a show, got recommended to go to a show and try it, and it's been something I've always kind of thought, could I do, wanted to challenge for myself. And then, after a bit of advice from competitors, from my coach Marilla, I thought, why not give it a go?
And what comp was it that you did?
I did WBFF, so I did the London show in not last May, the May before, 2014.
And how did you find out about it?
Again, really just from being at the workshop. I've also known a couple of people that had done the show, and they just sort of raved about how glamorous it was and how everyone was really nice. And after obviously going to see it, I just thought, it's definitely the federation I wanted to compete with.
So it's not your first show though, is it? You've done some before?
Yeah, so the one I just recently did was in Las Vegas, so that was my second show, and the first one was through WBFF in London, so more of a local show.
So they're both WBFF?
Yep.
What does that stand for?
World Beauty, Fitness and Fashion. So it's more of a, less kind of like a bodybuilding, more of like fitness model, Victoria's Secrets for kind of the fitness world, I suppose.
So a little bit more glamorous. And talking about diet and training, what's your diet been like while you were competing?
So the way we did it was a macro count, so looking at fats, carbohydrates and proteins that I needed, and worked out what calories were required for me to be able to lean out for stage. We started, on an amount that was just taking me into a slight deficit, so just going under the amount of calories that I would have needed just to start the metabolism burning, and then just gradually, bit by bit, we dropped the calories until you started to see some results and see the body lean out.
And so overall, how long is this process?
So in terms of strict and specific diet, 20 weeks. But I would say really I've been kind of prepping and having this in the back of my mind for the last year, since probably I would say the end of summer last year, so end of August last year. So it's about a year I've been kind of eating and training in a way, thinking I'm going to step on stage a year later in a better condition than I was before.
Okay, and how do you juggle the diet with family and work commitments?
So for me, it's just about preparation. It's just about making sure that I make time to prep my food, to spend time calculating everything that I need, just to make sure that it happens. And if that means I'm doing that till 10, 11 o'clock at night, it means I'm doing it to 10 o'clock, 11 at night. It has to be a priority. There's no, I haven't got time, I'm too tired. It's a priority. If you want to get results, you have to fully commit. So I just made it a priority, just made sure I was fully prepared.
Would you say you were really strict for the whole of the 20 weeks?
Oh yeah, I was completely on it for 20 weeks. Don't get me wrong, I did have a few blips, a few peanut butter blips, and having more of some things I needed, but I never had a full blowout, never completely went off track. I think the worst thing I did was have an extra Quest bar, so I was pretty good. I wanted it. I wanted to make sure I did the best I could possibly do, so I tried not to deviate and sort of lose all control.
So it sounds really controlled, and you had a lot of discipline. How would you describe to people, how do you keep that sort of mentality?
For me, loads of things. I'm quite a driven person anyway. If I'm going to commit to something, I see it through. And that's just whether it's a commitment to a friend or if it's a commitment, to step on stage. But also for me, I wanted to make myself accountable. So I put it out there on social media. I told my friends about it, told my family about it. And I just wanted to, do the best I could and put that pressure on myself. Started saying, do I want to get, where do I want to place? Do I want to get my pro card? And to be honest, the pressure's there when you've got to step on stage in a bikini in front of thousands of people. That's enough as well to keep you motivated.
Yeah, there's no hiding any blips there, is there?
Absolutely not, unfortunately.
So you mentioned pro card, and it's something that I'm not actually familiar with. What exactly is a pro card?
Okay, so specifically within WBFF, the pro card just basically means the judges think you're up to a calibre to actually make it in the world of fitness modelling professionally, so you can make money from it. And that can be anything from supplement companies wanting you to represent their brand because you have got a good mentality, a good outlook, you've trained your body hard, and you look a certain way that they would want their products to be sold. People look at you and think, yeah, I want to look like that. But also you can come into commercial shoots and things like that. Photographers want to work with you. And it's just really a way of making money out of the hard work that you put into looking good and feeling good. It's also not just about body image. The judges definitely look at your stage presence, how you come across on stage. There's a lot of, I think, also influence on social media, how you're coming across on social media as well. You might look good on stage, but if you're quite a negative person, then people aren't going to want to employ you. So Pro Card really is just making money from being a fitness model.
So would that be the ultimate goal then for somebody standing on stage?
I don't think it's for everybody. I think some people see shows individually as just a challenge, a personal challenge and achievements. One of my clients I'm training with at the moment, she just calls it's on her bucket list. She just wants to tick it off, so she's done it. But I would say the majority of people that step on stage, yes. I mean, the first show I did, no, I didn't think that at all. I just wanted to do it. Second show, yeah, that was something that I was striving towards. So I think, if people tend to do more than one show, then generally, as a rule, that's what they're looking for.
So a little bit like when you compete in the marathon, the first time you just want to get through the finish line, and then the next time you go bigger and better.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure that you're bringing a better package every time. Because if you're not, then there's no real reason to do it. You want to individually for yourself, better yourself, get better results. For me as well, I learn a lot along the way. I learn a lot about how my body reacts, how I react, and that also helps me with my job as a trainer. So I feel like I can relate to my clients better as well.
And have you managed to pick up any new clients who are inspired by your journey so far?
Yeah, I have. And as well, that's another reason for me doing the second show. I wanted to get myself a little bit more exposure out there as a trainer. Again, doing the second show and working with Morella, I've learned so much from her. She's such a great coach and inspiration. So I've been able to be lucky enough to pick up a couple of clients. I had a girl do Miami Pro last year. She came fourth. She did really, really well. And then I'm currently working with two other girls, one doing fitness model in the London show, WBFF, and then just recently I had a girl compete as a bikini athlete in UK BFF. So yeah, it's been great. And I think people as well, they look at you and see, even if they don't want to step on stage, I think people kind of admire your determination, hard work, and think, well, if she can do it, maybe she can help me do it as well. So yeah, just general clients as well, either be it online or just from at the gym that I work at as well.
So tell me about having a coach. Would you say that's been the one thing that's kept with the support and kept you motivated throughout?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, as we were saying, I coach people, so a lot of people say to me, well, you can just do it yourself, but when you're in the midst of prep and you're feeling tired and you're feeling hungry and you get what's called prep brain, where you're not really always as sane as you would like to be, you need someone there to say it's okay to feel like this, or no, don't take your calories down too low, it's too early for that, or no, you don't need to be doing this kind of training. Sometimes because it's stressful enough being prepared with your food and your exercise, that actually to then have to decide what you're going to do nutrition and working out wise, I think it's really good to have like an outsider looking in where you're accountable to that person as well, to say, right, no, this is cool, this is what you need to be doing, just follow that route.
So when choosing a coach, are there certain things that you should look for?
I mean, personally, I organically just chose Morella from being at a workshop with her, seeing her progress on stage. She won her first show. She became a pro in her first show. Then she got third in the world, and then she got second in the world. So wow. In that respect, her credentials speak for herself. But not only that, I had a chance to actually sit down and chat with her, and she's a really genuinely lovely person. She's very supportive, very knowledgeable. I liked her as well because there was no fads, there was no like, you need to take this and you need to take that. It was all any supplementation was all very healthy and for support and the right reasons, not, to make you gain a load of muscle or to shred a load of fat. it was all very healthy. I think when you are picking a coach, I would definitely look for recommendations, so other people that they've worked with, if you can speak to them or have a look on social media. I don't necessarily think that they maybe have to have competed, but I am a believer that to understand the process, if they've never really challenged themselves in terms of like really restricting their diet or really having to train hard. Personally, I don't know if they'd necessarily be able to relate, but they don't necessarily have to have stepped on stage to do that. They're, you know, as long as you feel that they've got the support and the knowledge.
Yeah, because they do have to understand you mentally as well, and it is a mental as well as a physical journey, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the days where you just don't want to go to the gym, or you know, you're too tired, or you just bite someone's head off and stuff, you need someone to say to you, do you know what, it's okay, that's how it should feel, it's fine, it's natural, it's normal, or to give you some advice that actually help with that as well, because sometimes you just don't really know what to do with yourself, so sometimes you just need someone to say, it's fine, do this, or you know, do that. I think you need someone that you feel understands and relates to it.
So do you feel like it's quite a supportive environment? Did your coach put you in touch with other people also doing the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think for me, I was really lucky. During the Diva Sisters workshop, I met, like originally before I decided I was definitely going to compete, I met girls that had competed and were going to compete anyway. And it's funny, once you get into that world, you realise there is like, this is the community, and whether that be via social media. I mean, I was really fortunate from my first show when I went and did some other workshops and stuff. I did some stage coaching workshops, met other girls that way, and have made some really good friends through the industry. And I think people that aren't involved in the industry think, oh, it can be quite a bitchy between the girls. And personally, I've never experienced that. If anything, it's been the complete opposite. Everybody appreciates the journey that you've been on because they've done it. So you find that it's actually very supportive and very encouraging.
That's nice. So about the show, how well did you place at your last show?
So I came 7th in my category, which I was really pleased with. There was about 20 girls in the category.
Achievement.
Yeah, it was a massive achievement. I wanted to get top 10, so I was pleased that I got top 10. There was, because it's the world, there was girls from all over competing. We had Trinidad, with Spain, Brazil, so you know, lots of people from like America and Canada. So I was really pleased, really pleased that I got 7th.
And this was Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's the big show. They do one world show a year. It's always in Vegas, and there's an amateur show, which is what I did. So girls that want to become professional fitness models, and then on the next day it's the professional fitness models, and they compete to be the best in the world as a fitness model. So that in itself was just really inspiring to actually see the pros do it and to be amongst them as well. You know, backstage, again, like I said, everyone was so supportive, and it's really inspiring as well.
So what was it like going to Las Vegas? Have you ever been there before?
I have been there before for a completely different reason. I went about 7 years ago for a friend's wedding, had 5 days of what can only be called as carnage, and it was amazing, and I was a lot younger then. Vegas is an amazing place. One of the guys described it as it's like Disneyland for adults. You know, nothing's off limits, it's always good fun, there's a great vibe, the people are amazing, there's so much to do. And competing there's really exciting, you know, the glamour of it all, but it can make it tough as well, competing over there.
I was going to say, was it not really hard then? Because being on holiday, most people on holiday just kind of blow out, eat and drink whatever they like, and obviously you had a show to think about.
Yeah, that's something I really underestimated, and it's probably one of the hardest things I found was, you know, I flew out 3 days before the show. So you're pretty depleted, you're pretty tired, and obviously, like you say, you go on holiday, first thing you get to the airport is you either go for a drink or you go for something to eat, and I was literally there with my Tupperware and coffee. You're on the flight, people are having like drinks around you, and they're eating their in-flight meals, and I'm still there with my Tupperware and my coffee. You know, you get to your hotel, you want to go and explore, you want to go out. And I went straight to an athlete's meeting, then I went to the gym to train, and then I had to go to a supermarket, get food, come back and prep my food for 2 days. So I'm in my hotel room with scales, weighing out chicken and vegetables. So I really underestimated how hard that was going to be. You know, you want to go into holiday mode and you can't. For me, it was really tough. I was very lucky I had my friends with me. They supported me. I had 3 girls with me and they helped me out loads. But yeah, all you want to do is go and sit by the pool. And you can't, you've got to train, you've got to eat, you've got to be present as well. You're representing, even though you're not a professional fitness model, you're out there representing the WBFF brand. So, you've got to be on point and you've got to be, showcasing yourself as a fitness model over there. So for me, it was work. Don't get me wrong, I love my work and I love that. But yeah, I definitely spent the first half of my holiday working and obviously preparing for the show, which was a big deal, getting nervous, doing all the final touches for the body and for the outfits and, getting checked in for my tan and my hair and makeup. It's all exciting, but obviously you feel like you're on holiday, but you're not really, not till the show's done.
Well, I think I'd quite enjoy being in Las Vegas doing this. So what else is the prize? So you mentioned the pro cards.
Yep.
Is there a money prize or anything like that you could win?
So with WBFF, for the amateurs there isn't. Okay, the amateur prize is your pro card, but then once you get invited back as a professional model to go compete in the show for the professional fitness models, then yeah, there's prize money available. There is also accreditation, and I think you can become an ambassador as well of certain supplement companies that are sponsoring the show as well. So you then become like a USN ambassador or Cymex, depending on whoever's sponsoring the show. So that happens as well for the amateurs.
So do you get selected for that, or do you have to, you ask them? How does that work?
That works basically if you get your pro, then you become an ambassador. Okay. So it's usually it can be anything between top 1, top 2 or top 3 girls or guys that win the category.
Mm-hmm. And so in terms of money though, it must cost a lot of money to enter a show like this and everything that you've spent on your bikini and tan and everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, you've got to really commit to it and understand that it's not going to be something that's going to be easy or cheap, and the investment not only in yourself there is money, a lot of money involved, so you do have to be prepared to commit to that. I think in a way though it makes you want it more and stay on track more, because you're investing not only time and effort and energy but money as well. I do think that side of things sometimes people don't realise until they get actually involved in it. I mean, it's totally worth it. There are ways that you can obviously save money, but obviously flying out to Vegas is not one of those.
Yeah, and so you mentioned that the ladies and everybody was really lovely backstage, because I'd heard before that people were quite bitchy and competitive. It was great that you haven't experienced that, but what was the atmosphere like backstage?
Oh, it was such a great time backstage. We not only, obviously the facility, we were in the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, so it was an amazing facility just to be in anyway, so everyone was quite pumped about that. And obviously it being such a big show as well, it was really exciting. But it was just, everybody was really supportive, and what was really lovely about the World Show this year was the regional heats of the WBFF had done like a transformation division, so girls and guys who had either been through something like traumatic in their life and really achieved this amazing goal of getting in shape, or had just lost quite a lot of weight, and taken the time to really commit to their health and fitness and transform their bodies. So we had a group of ladies backstage with us that they were kind of going into their final heats for that, and they were just really inspiring, really lovely girls. Their stories were just unbelievable, so I think that added to it backstage. That was a real kind of heartwarming sort of time as well, chatting to them. But yeah, everyone was really supportive. Just things like one girl's needed to kind of tack up her dress, and I had some needle and thread, so you just help each other out. One girl wanted some help with her bikini, so we were all kind of there. And especially on the second day, because it was a 2-show day, so we had results on the Saturday, a lot of the girls were bringing their cheat food backstage and was sharing cheats for afterwards, and we kind of went for drinks and things once the show had finished. So yeah, it was just really fun, and yeah, everyone was pretty pumped as well.
So I imagine everybody was quite nervous at this stage as well.
Oh god, yeah, on the Friday we were all pretty nervous. I mean, I have to say, I don't know if it was because it was my second show, or if it was because I was really happy with the package that I bought, but I was more excited than nervous. And I think a lot of the girls felt like that. I think, again, because it being the world show, it was shown on pay-per-view online as well, so it was a big show. I think the nerves were there, but I think the excitement was probably as much as an equal measure. You work hard for such a long time that actually I think you do get to a stage, as much as you want to, get to a certain place or to get your pro, you kind of have to take stock and be like, just look at how far you've come and actually just enjoy this moment, because that's what all the hard work has come up to.
And it's such a lengthy process for such a short time on stage, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. And sometimes that's probably one of the hardest things, but you can't just focus on show day. Like, obviously show day is the day where you get to showcase everything, but it is about the journey, from the day you say to yourself, I'm going to do it, to the day you then start your diet and nutrition, you work with your coach. Like, it's a journey, and if you are only in it just for the show, then probably not the best idea to compete. You want to be in it 100% for the whole time, because you learn a lot about yourself, you see results, and you challenge yourself. And I think you have to remember that whatever happens along the way and whatever happens on the show, as long as you say you put your all in and you did your best, then that's all anyone can ask, really.
Yeah. And what would you say, what's it like once you've been on a stage?
So obviously being on stage is amazing, and again, I enjoyed it second time a lot more than the first time. I felt very nervous, a bit rabbit in the headlights first time round. Second time round, I really enjoyed it a lot more.
Are you able to see everybody in the crowd?
You can see the judges, which is again quite daunting, but they're there for a reason, and you've got to kind of almost embrace the fact. You can see some of the crowd. Again, it was quite a big venue, so you could only really see like the first few rows and stuff, but yeah, that's
surely more daunting in Vegas, where you've got the cameras and everything as well.
Oh yeah, you've got this pay-per-view camera like flying around the stage. It was quite daunting, but you kind of just have to, you've spent ages planning. Like, a major part of being in a show is your stage presence, so you spend a lot of time. Like, I work with a coach to kind of work on my stage presence and my confidence. I did a lot of practicing on my own. I did a lot of posing on my own, so that I actually, when it came to stage, I was ready and I knew what I had to do. It doesn't always go to plan, but you're almost kind of preparing yourself for it. I think the worst thing you can do is underestimate how much your stage presence makes a difference.
Yeah, because they say they look for the whole package, don't they? Not just the way your body looks, but the way you're standing and posing and smiling even.
Yeah, definitely. It's how you come across on stage and how you showcase yourself. So yes, you want your body to look the best it can look, and yes, you want to stand certain ways, but also you want your personality to come through. You don't want to come across as looking miserable on stage or bored. If you are really enjoying yourself. Hungry, yeah. By that point, you're usually all right. But yeah, it's like anything, isn't it? You can talk about anything. It's how, do you walk around day-to-day life with a really miserable face, or do you walk around and say hello and smile at people? I think, it's your personality that needs to come out, and you can have an amazing body, but if you look miserable and bored on stage, you're not going to get anywhere.
So what happens after show?
So after show, you obviously celebrate, and whether that's celebrating with loads of food or just like going out for dinner or having some drinks, you generally celebrate whether you came top 10 or you didn't place at all, because it's a massive achievement just stepping on stage. Anyone that steps on stage, hats off to them, because it's a huge thing. And then really, this is where I would always say to people, you need a good coach to give you some advice for what to do after. You don't necessarily have to work with them, but you need them to give you some advice, because obviously being stage lean, you cannot maintain, and specifically for women, it isn't always as healthy to keep the way you look on stage throughout.
With minimal body fat.
Yeah, minimal body fat. Your hormones all over the place. Your metabolism is not going to be at its best. So really, you want to do either what's called a reverse diet. So if you were somebody that had a really hard prep and you did stress your body out a lot, a reverse diet's great because it allows you just to gradually build your calories back up to a normal level, and it just slowly reignites your metabolism. some people don't need to do this. Some people literally can come out of prep and just go back to being like living normally and eating normally, whatever normal is, not track food, not prep food, just
not
make
being
good
so strict.
Yeah, not being so strict, and that works really well for some people. And I think you need to sit down, and if you're going to think about competing, you need to have a conversation with your coach about what they would recommend afterwards. And I think that goes back to us saying that about people that have competed before and working with that, because the fallout after the show, it's very difficult to see after 20 weeks of work your body changes within a week. I'm not saying it's going to dramatically change, but you will notice a difference, and that's quite difficult. You have to kind of take stock that you're being healthy again, and you're just trying to rebuild your metabolism and rebuild your body back to its strength again. So I think having a conversation with your coach to say, what do you recommend based on how your prep's gone and where you've got to when you got on stage, and just see whether the reverse diet is the way to go. A lot of people disagree with that. They absolutely think, no, it's unhealthy to continue to track. You need to get your mind and body back to kind of just having a normal kind of way of life with your food and your nutrition and your exercise. And then some people absolutely swear by it, and I think it's very individual based on how you work.
It depends on the person, definitely. So what happens now then? So you've had this big goal, and you're at the other side of it now, 3 weeks on. Are you setting your next challenge?
Do you know what? So many people ask me this. I mean, I'm a personal trainer, and obviously my clients and my work are really important to me. I'm very passionate about fitness. So for me right now, I feel like that took a bit of a back step towards the end of my prep. So the first thing I really want to do is just regain touch with my business again and try and build my brand a little bit more based on the show as well, from the results from the show. Get back to just going back to my normal habits again. So slowly but surely bringing my metabolism back up. But because I've learned quite a lot from this one, I've found a kind of new way of training, and a way of training that I really enjoy. So I'm trying to keep that as well. And I don't know, I would love to compete again. I think, especially because I placed this time, I have this real drive now to kind of be like, I want to improve again.
Yeah, because top 10 is really good.
Yeah, I was so pleased, and now I'm thinking...
And only your second show as well.
Yeah, and now I'm thinking, that pro card is within reach. There's no reason why I can't. I just need to really work hard. But this prep was tough, I'm not going to lie. It took a lot out of me, physically and mentally. So for me, right now, I want my body to get back to being healthy, being strong again. So I think I'm going to take a bit of time just to kind of work on that, and then restock and have a look at maybe thinking about next year's show, getting my, not necessarily a really long prep again, but looking at having that, a bit like last time, having it in the back of my mind that I'm probably going to compete again. So start laying some foundations down and then just see him. So definitely. We'll see.
So we wish you luck for that, and we'll be following your journey. So if anyone wants to get in contact with you or has any questions about show or coaching, it's obviously your personal trainer as well, how can they do that?
So you can either just ping me an email, it's hannahhdfitness@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook, HD Fitness, Twitter, I'm Hannah D Trainer, Instagram, I'm Hannah Davies Fitness. So you can find me on any social media, ping me a message, get in touch, and obviously I will do my best to help you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Hannah.